Hi, my name's Suzanne, and I'm the owner here at Hot Yoga Works, both in Bayport and Setauket. We're in the Setauket studio today, and I thought I might just share a little bit of my story with you. I suffered with a really bad back for most of my life. So I was born with my feet facing backwards. It was like kind of a severe pigeon-toed. Mostly my right one was very, very far in that it pointed the other direction. And so I grew up with my legs in braces and orthopedic care and special shoes, and I like to make jokes about it, but it wasn't that bad. But my legs did need some tending to, and I was under orthopedic care until I was about 11. So I got my legs straight, somewhat bow-legged, but they got my feet going forward at least. But I was very uncoordinated, gawky. I would trip falling forward, walking in a straight line. Just as the body likes to make a lot of compensations when something doesn't function the right way, I ended up with pretty severe scoliosis. I'm also really tall, and I ended up with about a 28-degree curve in my spine. I actually took lessons as a teenager to learn how to walk straight because I was wobbly. I was pretty unstable on my feet. I never played any sports. I'm not a dancer. I'm not a gymnast. None of the above. As a matter of fact, my mom was a PE teacher, and she thought exercise was the cure for everything. And I was the kid who couldn't walk a straight line without falling over. I have lots of scars on my face from teeth going through lips, or one time I actually put a screw through my eye. I mean, I would fall, and my mom said I wasn't even a graceful faller. I wouldn't even put my hands out in front of me to catch me. I would just face plant. So that's me. Anyways, when I was 19, I was in a car accident, and I was riding sideways in a car, and my neck did one of these things. And I got some whiplash, but a kind of a funny whiplash. And then when I was 21, I had a second and pretty severe car accident. I was thrown from the car. I severed all the nerves in my left arm. I've got some pretty good scars up in here. I landed on my head, and because of the curvature in my spine, the way my spine rolled, I ended up fracturing 2 vertebrae, and it was my T3 and my T7. And even the doctors were like, who fractures their thoracic spine? I mean, it's usually cervical or lumbar because those are a lot more pliable. Thoracic holds the rib cage, so it's more of a fortress. It's made to protect. And so with this scar tissue and trauma sort of right around like my bra strap area, I ended up with 2 ribs that like to kind of collapse into my lung, and years of physical therapy trying to learn how to straighten and rotate that arm. That took about a year and a half. I hadn't had a full breath of air in about a year and a half when my physical therapist said, maybe we should try something else. So she suggested chiropractic care. And with that first adjustment, I was able to breathe fully. I was in heaven. I thought it was like, oh, amazing. And again, I was probably only 22 years old, but I did live on painkillers. And they said, with the scoliosis, with the fractures in your spine, with the amount of scar tissue and damage that's there, you're just going to have to get a rod in your spine. And until you're ready to do that surgery, here's some painkillers for you. And so I lived on painkillers for about 7 years. I did end up developing some tumors on my thyroid and depression and all kinds of other things that are side effects from being on prolonged narcotics. And so with that, people would always tell me, oh, my mom has a bad back and she does yoga. Oh, my grandma, she has a bad back and she does yoga. And I was like, yeah, and when I'm your grandma's age, I'll do yoga too. I was just young and full of myself and quite pompous. Anyways, God has a way of getting through to us one way or the other. And God loves me enough that he was not giving up on me, and I was going to try it. He was going to get through to me. I needed to try yoga. However, the universe got through to me. I did end up finally trying a hot yoga class because it didn't sound like grandma's yoga. It sounded like something more athletic and physical. And so I thought I would try that. And I went in, and the woman in front of me was this little old lady, looked like my grandma, just silver head of like, helmet hair and first posture, man. It was me versus grandma, and grandma, I'll tell you what, she kicked my butt. That class was hard and it hurt and I was miserable. And I went home and I fell asleep on the couch, and I woke up in a puddle of sweat, and I had 103 fever, and I was like, this is the worst experience of my life and I'm never going back. Everything about it hurt. Nothing felt good. It was humiliating. My ego was hurt. My body was hurt. My mind was hurt. Everything hurt. Anyways, 2-3 days later, I still felt so stinking good. I thought, this cannot be from one yoga class. So I went back and I tried another yoga class. Lo and behold, here I am. It's 20 years later now, I live most days pain-free. I've been able to successfully have 3 pregnancies and 3 beautiful children. And the amount of things that I've been able to accomplish are really absolutely out of reach. If I look back on where I started, I'm not the same person mentally, physically, emotionally. Yoga has really changed my life. And I love teaching this because I hold out so much hope for you. I hold out so much hope for my students. I watch people come in here and we fight for just a tiny little range of motion, but that little range of motion can make all the difference in the world as things begin to unfold and unlock and open up new possibilities, new pathways, new energy. It's really quite a magical experience. You sweat, you detox, you never knew you could feel so good. I mean, I didn't think I felt bad until I started feeling better. And then it's like, wow, you could feel this good? Like, it's amazing. So I definitely wanted to share that with you. Maybe it inspires you, maybe it encourages you. You do not have to know how to touch your toes. You don't even, just come in, sit in the sweat. The heat has been used across centuries and cultures for hundreds, if not thousands of years to heal the body. It's very, very healing, therapeutic practice, beautiful postures, perfectly sequenced together to restore, renew, and balance the body and get it working in an optimal way. So now my scoliosis is somewhere between 10 and 15 degrees, which if you ask any doctor, that's impossible. You know, you don't fix scoliosis past the age of 16, and I didn't even start yoga till I was 28. So it's possible. Anything is possible, but you got to do the work. It's not about having somebody else do the work for you. It's not about going and having, massage and getting something to release. That's great. Having work done is great, but you doing the work, that's what's really going to move the needle forward. So I encourage you, get in here and try and keep trying and keep getting to know a new level of you, a little bit more clear. It's a great journey. You are the greatest project you're ever going to work on. Let's do some work.